let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about enjoyment, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Alright, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. Of course, give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I say hey. And of course, follow me on the social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YoungDaygo. And in this video, we're going to be talking about enjoyment, all the things that make you smile, because you know what we're all about here in the BCC. The Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective will help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis. Help you naturally raise your testosterone, your HGH. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about how to enjoy you. You know what I mean? And that's what I essentially am always talking about. But I was really inspired today just because I had a whole bunch of just, outside or really inside messages that were coming to me just about being happy for no reason. And this is what helps you achieve your goals of, manifesting your dreams. You're manifesting your a huge penis, naturally raising your testosterone. Because the most important key factor that I always got to tell you is if you want beauty to appear, you gotta keep this clear. And that's something that's gonna help you grow and help you flow. And when you get lost in all these other ways, you're able to just go ahead and step away, clear it up, and help you just keep going. And when you get yourself recalibrated into the flow state, or whatever you want to call it, when you're just happy for no reason, that's where the magic happens. Because we are all magic, we are all miracles, we are all divine. And you know what I always say, I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side, and I might as well get it in right out the beginning, right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that quick pump in and always show you that energy is there to grab, and I want to just prove it every single time I can, because I want to inspire you to know that it's all around the field of you. And understand that you got to visualize the size, you got to feel the size. Doesn't matter about how much weight that you lift and how many sets, what your diet is. All that matters is putting your mind into the muscle. And Paramahansa Yogananda, the one that wrote the book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, says that the mind is the wielder of muscle. And this guy is he was an enlightened being that told people about magical stories in his book. Steve Jobs read it, and Steve Jobs, my favorite quote is, the people that think they're crazy enough, that believe they're crazy enough to change the world, are the ones that do. And for that, I say salute. And for that, look at the growth. Do you feel it? This is what we're talking about every single time you put your mind into the muscle, because you got to use arouse techniques. You got to be excited about being in the gym, which is what you got to do, or any single time before you go to bed. Edge before bed, just flex and grow, and understand that you are your own resistance, and your mind is what puts on the size. And anytime you got to get that one last rep in, you go ahead and you scream and you shout. Even if you got to scream it in your head, just go ahead and say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, getting 2020. Feel the growth, feel the flow. It's a beautiful thing. Look at that. Feeling anabolic as usual. Naked in a chair. Detroit Rock City. Winter advisory always here. Always sweating. Always feeling beautiful. Holding my accountability. And you could count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. That's right, Mr. Larson. And I'm using the meathead mukbang that we're doing again, because I got to hold up to, put more protein in these, in this bod, because, got to manifest the best. I tell you, man, tuna, Greek yogurt, a little bit of lemon, some sriracha today. Beautiful thing. And for that, let's say salute. Oh yeah, antifreeze. That was from Suburban Commando. Another Hulk Hogan movie shout out. None of you might not have seen it, but they're great, man. I love Hogan Knows Best. Linda, Brooke. They're talking about the Hulkster. And these, anytime that you're smiling, and we're talking about being happy for no reason. Sometimes a movie does it. Sometimes, you know, a joke can do it. There's so many things that can just make you laugh. And these are the things that put you back into that receptive mode to grow. And that's what it really comes down to. That's how we really flow. We got to drop the bun, have some fun. You know what we're about here in the BCC. Oh, yeah. Talk about Careless Whisper. Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I'm feeling beautiful. And, you know, like, I'll use that Con Air reference since we got the hair flowing. When he was in jail, and this can be correlated into anybody's life. He's talking about how he's got his daughter and he's writing home and he's like, "Dear Hummingbird," and he's talking about, "I'm in the worst of all places, but somehow I feel like the luckiest man alive." And it was like, like all like this, the fires in the jail, and it was, Nick Cage, screw, he's doing his thing there. It was a great movie. I mean, check it out if you want it. You don't have to, but like, these are the things that are always making me smile and making me laugh. And even something as simple as Con Air always got a line. There's a line in there for you that you can resonate with every single time. I guarantee it. And as long as you're receptive to it, like, you can get a message out of anywhere. Not just a fortune cookie or some synchronistic Instagram post or some big booty pic or some whatever, you know what I mean? You can always get a inspiration out of nowhere, and that's essentially what this is all about. And we're talking about being excited. We're talking about showmanship, close it on the high note. And that's something like I was almost going to call this video showmanship, just because I was inspired in the gym with that. And that really, makes me, is making me happy, because I'm explaining to these ladies, like, they're like, "Man, you're always in here, like, you go hard, and like, you can tell." And, they're like, "Yeah, they've seen the gains, bro." You know what I mean? Anyways, we're talking. And the way, that I do my workout is I always start with the things that I like the least. And I always progressively do the things that I like the most when I leave. And that is essentially showmanship, which is leaving on the high note. And, like, you started off with cardio because, unless you really love it, that's the thing you're going to want to close on. But if it's something that you're like, it's a burden to you the most, that's the one you got to hit right out the gate. And it's something that you get right off your plate, and that's what helps you go. And then you get into the next part of what you feel to help you achieve the most. And like I said, there is no wrong way to this. Essentially, every way is the right way, because there's a 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, a million different ways that you can essentially put this together. And like I say, all truths are true. You just got to find the ones that make you, because fitness is essentially a whole bunch of collective beliefs. We're talking about, scientific beliefs. We're talking about what people have done at certain times, and essentially it's all magic anyways. Like I say, I don't discredit science, but I don't discredit magic. And when you really look at it from a magic perspective, and hearing about Paramahansa Yogananda and the mind being the wheel of the muscle, eventually, is it possible that we can just sit here and just grow into a huge, massive giant? Anything's possible. I'm not saying that you can or you can't, but I'm just saying, if you believe it, that's what it all comes down to. Because essentially, like Rocky Balboa says, that is real unless you believe in yourself. It's the collective belief that you can get behind to help you achieve. Like, if everybody had that belief, maybe it'd be more possible. It'd be more prone and easier to jump into. Just like, gravity, for instance, is something that cannot really be proved, but yet you drop something and then, we know that's what it does, right? But if everybody had the mindset, and like I say, this is just going out there, if everybody thought that, the way we get around is we float or we fly, and that's just how we do it, then essentially that could be how we get by. But, collective ideas and what we're going through is something that's like what gravity is. Like I said, science can't prove it all out, and they'll say, well, if you get down to the micronic equation, and this is a number in a computer program, and blah, blah, blah. Listen, sometimes, I don't want to rule out any idea, all right? But I'm just saying, like, you got to go and make it a computer number? Like, I mean, is that what you really want to put this as? I mean, that's your own perspective, you know what I mean? I go from it within, and I feel that anything and everything is possible. And I just feel that as long as you're coming with love, you can do no wrong. As long as you're coming with energy, you can do no wrong. Since we're talking about the Matrix, I might as well share the hack every single time, no matter where you're at. I gotta get this message out to you because you make the world a better place. You have purpose in this world. You are beautiful. Don't forget that no matter where you're at, and you hear somebody on the phone, you see somebody, you think of somebody, anytime that something, you're having a thought, negative, neutral, whatever it may be, just stop for a second and think, I intend on that person, that soul, that being, to have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day, and you just hack the Matrix. You just change the place to be better. And essentially, like I say, the universe is a mirror, and whenever you start loving yourself, it's always going to come back to you. And whenever you're loving out there, it's going to definitely be, that receptive flow. And when we're talking about that, every time that I'm really getting this to you, you got to give it a shot. And speaking of a shot, you know what I do every single day before my feet hit the ground? Go ahead, you know the sound. Take this breath. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful, because gratitude is the attitude. And these are things that can always bring you back to grounding yourself, to being happy, to understanding that you have purpose. Because, like I say, our natural state of being is that blissful happiness and that fleeting feeling of chasing whatever you got to do, going through your robotic situation, doing what you got to do in your everyday manifestations. Getting back to the happy is what we are always, trying to do. So I say, bring the happy with you. And whenever you have this with you, more things are going to definitely come to you. Like I said, man, we got that ball just flowing, Sub-Zero. You know what I mean? We got the right involved. You know what I mean? We're going with that. Anything's possible. You know what I mean? Because I believe in magic, and I believe in miracles, and I feel that every single day, miracles can always come our way, and you just got to be receptive to them. Don't not acknowledge the ones that aren't there. You know what I mean? Like something simple can, be a miracle today, and just acknowledge it for what it is. And I was listening to, a Bashar replay or whatever, and some of these holistic guys follow Daryl Anka and his channeling, and he's got some lit information, and I say good day to you, what I mean? It's great if you watch some of this, man. He's got Hawaiian shirts, beautiful personality, and what he's doing is he's channeling Bashar, which is like an entity, out in wherever, the source. And, like Abraham Hicks does it. She calls the source energy Abraham. Whatever you got to name it, whatever bow you got to wrap on a label, it's all here anyways. And we ain't talking about Comcast cable, but you can get a good, something to make you laugh and smile, essentially. That's what it's all about anyways. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but what we're talking about is, this message that Bashar said that really resonated with me was, you got to enjoy every moment and really appreciate it. Like something as simple as the way your foot feels when you're putting on a slipper. It's like, don't miss that moment, because you might as well, you got to feel every single moment. And something as simple as that is like, you know what? You got to look back for a minute, and you got to appreciate what you got. And essentially, that's the way that things are going to come to you. Because the more you appreciate, the more that you love, the more that you grow. And when we're talking about techniques to naturally raise your testosterone and your human growth hormone, and I utilize the construct before you go to sleep. I got a video that it's probably going to be flying around here somewhere, checking the thing. And it's about like that Matrix loading screen, like Mackler, he's like, tank load me, and he's like, he gets all the guns, and he learns how to do, I know, kung fu, that type of stuff. Essentially, before you go to sleep at night, I always feel like that loading phase is something that you can, load some size into you, because essentially, you got a shot that's different than the day before. Because even on the Joe Rogan experience, that's right, Joe Rogan, you know what I mean, the Roganator. He was talking about, he's like, what if you go to sleep at night and everything just reappears, out of nowhere, and like there could have been one thing that's different and you wouldn't know it. Like, maybe like when you close your eyes, everything disappears. Anything and everything is possible. I don't rule out any possibilities, man. Like I say, you know, the best way to go is the way to grow. And I just feel that the way that you flow is just getting out of your way, which is why I do that Wu Wei flow practice of, you know, following the path of least resistance. And it gives you just enjoyment throughout the day, because you're not like, oh, I gotta do it like this. But it's like, you know, essentially certain things you're gonna have to do in a certain order, of course. But there's going to be ways that, you know what, if I did this now, or if I went to the gym right here, or if I did this at this time, it's going to just give you that flow that helps everything just go so much more smoothly. Streamlined butterfly. Another gone in 60 seconds analogy. All right, and that was Edward Duvall, you know what I mean? And, oh no, it's great. Had to give you a double cage on this one, you know what I mean? And, like I said, man, anytime that you're just, you know, smiling for no reason, closing on the high note is what showmanship is all about. And like I said, in a Seinfeld episode, that's where that always came to me was, or made me laugh, is when George was, he would leave the room after he said something profound. He'd be like, all right, that's it for me. You know what I mean? He'd walk out the door. And every time he would do that, it ended up biting him. Biting him in the gulu. Pardon my French. You know what I mean? I don't know why that is a language. Like, why would we say pardon my French? Even though it was Sicilian. You know what I mean? Or it could be Spanish. Someone abuse it, mate. But what we're talking about is, when George would leave, he ended up looking so great that he would always close on a high note that his boss thought he was always full of just awesome like material and ideas, but he was just getting out of there at the right moment. And then when it was time for him to do this project, he knew nothing about it, you know. And it was a great episode. Beers at me, you know. I mean, I love my Seinfeld. I love movies. I'm a movie buff. I love TV shows. I don't care which way you got to go. Any way that you're doing this, you're doing something right. And that's essentially what this is all about. Anytime that you can just take yourself out from the gutter and pick yourself up, that's what this is about, man. You got to be happy for no reason, because that's how we grow. And you know me, I always show you the techniques and the secrets, the joking, the super edging, the Kegels, you know, the masturbation for manifestation. These are things that I can help you with. Put a schedule together, put some action into practice to help you manifest the best. Because like I say, anything and everything will work. You just got to be able to get out of your way and allow it to work. And when we're talking about, you know, the showmanship and doing things in a way that you can just, you know, like I say, going to the gym, and when you're really closing on your favorite exercise, it gives you a reason to want to come back. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody, like, you know, maybe like you're new to the gym and you hate everything about it, but hate is such a, like, it's a strong word for something that could, you know, essentially help you, you know, become better. And like I said, you know, you might say that you hate the Stairmaster. It's like, I don't want to say I hate it. It's something that you learn that you love because it's gonna make you great. You know what I mean? You might love to hate it because it makes you great. Whatever analogy you want to throw on that. I mean, I just say you shouldn't say it's, you know, something that you hate, because the fact that you got the ability to go to the gym today is something you got to give great gratitude for. You got to be grateful for that, and that's something that you should always, you know, that's a reminder you should just have before you walk in, that you're feeling alive, even though that you're like just, you know, really hanging on or whatever you got to do, just dripping sweat. I mean, you feel more alive in those moments than any time of the day, because essentially, if you're thinking about riding the lightning for a half hour on a Stairmaster when you're, you know, breathing the sweat, you know, that half hour feels a lot longer than, you know, watching a sitcom on TV, or, you know, just hanging out with friends. You know what I mean? You're feeling every moment of it. And that's something that you should appreciate while you're doing it. And, you know, that's where you can drop in your positive mantras and understanding that you're increasing your size, you're burning the fat, you're raising your metabolism, all these things to help you get, you know, extra size, and, you know, manifesting the mantras around that really help, you know, saying that I'm so happy and grateful I have a high metabolism. My body burns fat and builds lean muscle mass abundantly. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want. Gaining only lean muscle mass. That's why I'm choosing this tuna right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, honestly, like, you guys see me do my intermittent fasting and stuff, and I'm telling you, closing with a mukbang, eating this food like this, I mean, it's not like essentially the meal of your dreams or whatever, but it doesn't taste bad. I'll tell you that, with the hot sauce and having a beer with anything. It's a beautiful thing. So, I mean, what I learned through, I can give you a quick close on, you know, something positive and something that you can know is when I learned through intermittent fasting and intending to grow bigger and manifest more muscle, being able to jump into the collective belief of adding more protein, I was finding it more difficult because like when you only got, like when you fast for over 20 hours, you're shutting down your body, and that's a true cleanse. Like all these people, I'm doing a juice cleanse and I'm doing a celery cleanse. You want to cleanse, shut it down. Like John Taffet says, shut it down. You know what I mean? You gotta shut your body down if you really want to cleanse it out, because you know, if you put nothing in, and that's when you're pushing everything out. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit of water. And then some of these fasts you do no water, and like I said, I've done them all, man. I've done the dry fast. I've done prolonged fast, like probably 72, 96 hours. And the thing that I learned is after the fast, it takes time for your body to be able to, you know, take food in again. It's like your mind can eat. Like, don't let anybody tell you that, oh, yeah, you won't be able to eat after that, your stomach. It's like, no, you still have, if you're a hungry person, you're going to be hungry. It doesn't matter. At least for me, like, I swear to, like, if I was going to do it, like, you know, Jesus versus food, I would just fast for 20 hours, go kill everything on the plate, and then I would just take a huge dump. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, because nothing will stick to you when you fast that long. And essentially that's what a cleanse is. It's getting everything excreted from you. And when you want to come back from a fast, what I learned is you're going to start it out little by little. And I learned that a 15-hour fast is, you know, 13 to 15 is something that works for me. And I'm able to incorporate more protein. And, you know, I'm still able to eat slower throughout the day. Able to get more protein in as I go, you know. I'm forgetting about, like, you know, I don't have to do fasted cardio. I eat before I do that. I'll eat after, you know, I eat in the middle of the gym. So this way it's like I'm breaking it up and I'm able to eat every couple hours while I'm, you know, in the non-fasted window or whatever they say. I don't hold it like, you know, crazy, because I'm telling you, man, there's like a whole nother sickness that I can talk about with people about, you know, being too healthy. And I forgot the proper analogy or terminology. Was something about people that want to eat clean all the time. And like, dude, I'm telling you, like, you know, like it starts with not wanting to eat fast food, and like you start feeling guilty. Like when you eat McDonald's, you feel like you're eating Play-Doh and battery acid, and it's just like, dude. And then you got all these videos talking about how bad Coca-Cola is. It's like, dude, hold on a minute, all right? It's your mind that's creating the problem, all right? Because essentially, dude, McDonald's and Coca-Cola and all these products, I mean, they're only going to do what the mind tells you it's going to do. Because there's people that live long, beautiful lives that eat McDonald's, that drink Coca-Cola, that are shredded ripped, that live long lives, and it doesn't affect them. Now, people that it affects is the ones that are like, I got to stop doing this. I got to stop drinking Coca-Cola. I got to stop eating McDonald's. And I'm not saying that you can eat McDonald's every day, but essentially maybe you can. I mean, I remember this one kid back in elementary school, every single day he had a 20-piece McNugget with a large fry, supersized fry at that time. And, you know, he was, of course, every girl wanted to be around him, man. His grandpa loved him, which is a beautiful thing. And, you know, I remember every single day, and he had that meal. And, I mean, he's still, you know, he's still moving around. He ain't overweight, so I can tell you that. So that might be a little food for thought for him. So when you're thinking about that, think about this. I'm going to take a quick close right here and end this beautiful experience yet again. So I say salute. Going off on a high note, always want you to, you know, have, you know, just to love, you know, more to be inspired for it, more to look forward to. We're going to have plenty more beautiful experiences to come. Make sure you're getting at me in the, you know, the social media, checking out my cat C, my bear, and my wolf are always there. A couple Pekingese, a couple cameos, who knows? We're going to have some beautiful experience, some travel. I feel a lot of beautiful things coming. Don't forget, we're going to grow into the giants that we are. We're talking head in the clouds, huge piece of meat, swinging at the knees, throbbing to the pecs, making you your best. Give it a kiss. Don't stop. You know, we're talking about not worrying about the gremlins at your feet. We're talking about the head in the clouds attitude being huge. Not stopping on your best friend's house, but just, you know, tending on, you know, spreading that love and positivity. make sure you go out there and spread some love today, feel some love today. And I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you around. Peace.